Now the first of two videos here is going to deal with checking equations when we think we know the answers or we have specific values. So what we're going to do here is just do some simple ones to give you the concept. We're going to look at this first problem here, and this would come from an Algebra 1 problem actually. And we have this answer, we think the answer is 4, and so we're going to check it in the original problem to see if it actually gives a true statement here. Now I'm going to do it the old way to begin with. Let me clear that off here. We're going to say 12 times 4 minus 5, and hopefully that answer gives 43, and you can see that we've got a legitimate answer here. So that's a checked answer. Now, we're going to be doing this slightly differently, and we're going to take advantage of the calculator's ability to store values, and what that'll do for us is allow us to type this a little more efficiently. We're going to take this value of 4, and we're going to store it, and you can see it gives a little arrow there, as the value of x, and until we tell it otherwise or we do something that changes it, the calculator will think that that x stands for 4. So now what you can do is just type literally what you see there. You don't have to use the parentheses. You can type matching value there, and sure enough you get, did I do a mistake there? First mistake. Oh well. Let me change that to 5, and it works. Okay, a little hiccup there, but we'll keep going. All right, the next one here is a problem from a more complicated section of algebra where you're dealing with quadratic equations, and you get two different answers here. So we'd like to know if 2/3 works in this problem, and we'd also like to know if -3 works in this problem. And you just check one at a time. Now it'll be a little more efficient when we get to the second one. But here's how you're going to do this here. You're going to take 2/3, 2 divided by 3, and once again you're going to hit that store key, and you'll store that as the new value of x. You'll see the decimal version of 2/3 display there. And now we're going to see if the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. So you just type them. Now I can use the squared key. I'll do that this time. And that's over here. In the future, I'm just going to say x times x. It's a lot faster. And you want to be very quick at this. So the left-hand side turns out to be this numerical value. And the right-hand side, -7 times x, turns out to be the equal or same value. So this answer checks. Now, what's nice about this is once you check the first answer, the second one's going to go a little faster. -3 stored for x. And then instead of retyping everything, I'm going to use the up arrow and come up here and grab that equation and reuse it. And then I'll do the same thing with the other one. Now, if you're dealing with a Ti83 instead of a Ti84, then you'll accomplish that by repeatedly hitting the second key and the enter key, and it'll scroll back in history to find old equations. So you go second enter, second enter, second enter, until it shows up with what you want. Now, we've got equal values, so this equation is true, and we've checked both answers. Okay, moving on to the next example here. Example C is a problem where we solve. My goal today is not, I'm not trying to show you how to solve these, but just check your answer. We get an answer of -1 and an answer of 7/3. And this is a section where the process can sometimes be flawed and give you false answers. They're called extraneous solutions. So here, checking is not just a luxury, it's a requirement, because this process will give you false or extraneous solutions. So we're going to start with storing this -1. Store that for x, and once again, I use this key down here that says store. So you type the value, you hit store, and then you type the x key, which is right here. Then you're going to type the left-hand side and compare it with the right-hand side. This absolute value function is under the math menu, so touch the math key, and you need to scroll to the right under the number menu, and it's that first choice. I'll show you in a minute how you could type this a different way if you have one of the newer operating systems. Okay, that side gives 5. Now if we type the other side, 2x minus 3, using this value of -1, we don't get the same value. Those are different. So that tells me that this answer is extraneous or false. We can't trust that answer even though none of the work we did here was wrong. It led to an incorrect answer. Okay, now we're going to try this 7/3, but before I do that, I'm going to show you another way to get your absolute value going. If you go alpha, F2, it's the first choice there. Now your operating system might not let you do that, so I'm going to retype that, but if it does, that's a little easier than the other way I showed you. Okay, we're going to store 7/3 and see how it works. 7 divided by 3 stored as the value of x. Now I'll go up and grab this expression and see what it equals now that I've changed the value of x. And I'll go up and grab the other expression, hit enter twice, and those are equal, so this is a legitimate answer. Okay, here's another application of it. We're going to just check this answer of -12 into this equation here. So -12, it's your store key, your x key, and now it thinks these x's when you type them are the number -12. So 3/4, this is the easiest way in my opinion to type that, times x plus 5. The left-hand side turns out to be -4. The other side, we'll type -1 divided by 2 in parentheses for this, and hit the x key and -6, and you may know another way to type a fraction, and that's okay. And that gives 0. And so I'm going to double check to make sure I've typed everything correctly, because this looks like it's giving an answer that's false. 3/4 x plus 5, and over here -1/2 x minus 6, and sure enough, the answer is no. X equals -12 is not a solution. We should have gotten equal amounts when we did that. Okay, so if you've got a newer operating system, you can go alpha, F1, and hit enter, and then you can type your fractions, and that might be a little bit easier way to do it for you. Okay, next page here. I've got a variety of examples here. This is the end of the first video here, and what I've got here is 5 problems for you to try. And once you've gotten those 5 problems done, and you can pause the video at this point and do all 5 of them, then I'm going to be revealing the solutions or the answers here on the next page, but you'll have to pause the video. Okay, if you've done all 5 of those problems, then here's the results you should have gotten. Okay, I hope this helps you to determine whether your answers are correct when you're solving equations. And there's an even more important companion video that I'll be doing where you're going to get problems 6 through 10. This will be video 2 in the series of 2. So I'll see you on the other side for the next video.